Let's be honest. If you feel like your gym's ads just aren't working anymore, it's probably not your fault. It's because the entire game has changed. Seriously, what worked even a couple of years ago will just burn your money today. So let's talk about the new rules for advertising your gym.
Okay, let's get right to the single most important idea. By 2025, and really starting right now, your ad creative is your targeting. This isn't just some catchy phrase. It is the biggest shift we've seen in how platforms like Facebook and Instagram work. Your job is no longer about trying to find the perfect audience with a million complicated settings. Nope. Your job now is to make an ad that finds the audience for you.
So what does this shift actually look like in practice? Well, the old way was all about building this little digital fence. You'd manually pick all the interests, the behaviors, the demographics. The new way, it's about taking that fence down completely and letting the AI do the heavy lifting. You just have to give it a really good ad, and it studies who watches, who clicks, who actually engages with it. And then it goes out and finds thousands of other people who are just like them. Your ad creative is literally what trains the algorithm. Okay, so if your ad is now the filter, then the very first question has to be, who are you filtering for? This is where it all begins. And if you don't have a crystal clear answer to this question, I'm telling you, the rest of this just won't work. This right here is probably the biggest mistake I see gym owners make. They say their ideal client is, anyone who wants to get in shape. But that's not an avatar. That's everyone. And by extension, no one. You simply cannot write a compelling ad for everyone. But if you write an ad for one single specific person, thousands of people just like them will feel like you're speaking directly to their soul. To get really specific, you've got to go so much deeper than just age and gender. What's their actual situation right now? What have they tried before that failed them? What are they truly afraid of? See, it's not just about losing weight. It's about the deeper desire to play with their grandkids without being in pain, or the very real fear of losing their independence as they get older. When you know these details, your ads stop feeling like ads, and they start feeling like the answer they've been looking for. All right, so once you know exactly who you're talking to, you have to give them something they actually want to buy. And here's the secret. People do not want to buy a gym membership. What they want to buy is a transformation. They want a result. This means you have to package your service as a program, not just access to a building with equipment. A really strong offer has these 4 parts: a clear outcome, a specific time frame, think 6 weeks, not forever, a defined method so they know what to expect, and a reason to act now, like having limited spots. Think about it. A $299 6-week challenge feels concrete and achievable. A $150 a month membership, that just feels like a never-ending bill. And now we get to where it all comes together. Your deep understanding of your avatar and your compelling offer. All of that fuels the creative. The ad itself becomes this smart tool that attracts your ideal client, and just as important, it pushes everyone else away.
Yeah, you heard me right. This is about repelling the wrong people just as much as it's about attracting the right ones. You actually want certain people to see your ad and just keep on scrolling. If a 25-year-old bodybuilder sees your ad for a 50-plus strength program and thinks, that's not for me, perfect, you just saved money. Every single part of the ad, the photo you choose, the very first line of text, it all has to be a signal for exactly who this is for.
Look, a simple and incredibly powerful way to structure your ad copy is this: problem, agitate, solution. It's easy. First, you state the exact problem your avatar is feeling. Then you agitate it a little. You describe what will happen if they don't solve it. And finally, you present your transformation offer as the clear, obvious, logical solution to that specific pain. Okay, so you've done it. You built the perfect ad, and it's bringing in leads from your ideal clients. High five. But this is exactly where most gyms fall flat. Getting the lead is only step 1. A great ad is completely and utterly worthless if you don't have a rock-solid system behind it. Let this number sink in for a second. Leads that you contact within 5 minutes are 100 times more likely to even be reached than if you wait just 30 minutes. Think about it. When someone fills out your form, their interest is at an absolute peak. 5 minutes later, they're still in that zone. But 30 minutes later, their kid spilled something, they got a work email, they've moved on. Speed to lead isn't just a good idea. It's probably the single biggest factor in turning a name on a list into a new member. And the final piece of that system is tracking what actually matters. Seriously, likes, comments, shares, they feel good, they're nice for the ego, but they don't pay your rent. You need to be obsessed with the real numbers.
What's my cost to get an actual sale? What does it cost to get someone to show up for their first appointment? These are the metrics that tell you if your ads are actually growing your business or just getting you a thumbs up.
So let's wrap this all up. The new rule is really simple. Your ad creative is your targeting. Your job is to build a better filter, a filter that attracts the right people because you understand their real fears and desires, presents them with a clear path to a transformation, and is backed up by a system that turns interest into action. So the only real question left is the one right there on your screen. What are you filtering for?